Dave Portnoy is a misogynistic bully who's stuck in his 20s, living like every day is spring break. But he's also the best thing to ever happen to pizza.
Walked in, he goes, "This guy has all the drip."
This frat bro has built an empire out of being unapologetically himself, whether that's reviewing slices of pizza, dropping unfiltered hot takes, or getting accused of tanking small businesses one bite at a time. And let's not forget the internet losing its mind over him allegedly pushing Grace O'Malley out of Barstool Sports while hyping up Brianna Chicken Fry, or those messy comments he's made over the years, the kind that make you wonder, how does he still have a platform? The world seems pretty set on painting Dave as the bad guy, the misogynistic frat bro who doesn't deserve his fame or fortune. At first glance, it's hard to argue with that. But if he's so bad for women, then why is it that so many women credit him for helping their careers? And for every harsh review that supposedly destroyed a pizza shop, why is there a mom and pop thanking him for putting them on the map? So what's the truth? Is Dave really the villain he wants us to believe he is? Or is he something else entirely? Something the internet doesn't want to admit. So how did Dave Portnoy go from being the internet's favorite punching bag to the guy who saved pizza? I mean, he can't even sneeze without someone accusing him of destroying small businesses or starting World War III. Because Dave's sense of humor is not for everyone. He's made comments that make you cringe so hard your face might get stuck. Like that 2010 blog post.
You posted the following on your site. I never condone rape. If you're a size and you're wearing skinny jeans, you kind of deserve to be raped.
Correct. I stand by that. I think it's a funny joke.
You think rape is funny?
No, I didn't say that. I think it's a funny joke.
Do you understand how offensive that is?
No, I obviously don't.
Yeah, not his finest moment. Dave has a track record of saying stuff, but he's not sitting there plotting ways to offend people. He just has zero filter and no topic is off limits. And that's part of his charm. Love him or hate him, you know exactly where he stands, even if it's wildly inappropriate. He's just Dave. And if you've ever hung out with someone who can't stop themselves from saying the worst possible thing at the worst possible moment, you get it. That's the part people miss. Dave doesn't care if you're offended because it's not that deep. To him, it's all jokes. And if you're laughing, great. If you're not, he's not losing sleep over it. He's loud, abrasive, and makes no effort to smooth over rough edges. If anything, he seems to kind of enjoy sharpening them, but beneath all the chaos and controversy, there's another side to Dave, a side that gets buried under all the noise. Dave is a Sour Patch Kid. First he's sour, then he's sweet, then you're like, wait, is this guy actually kinda great? So why does everyone rush to call him the bad guy? Maybe because we're too busy focusing on what he says instead of what he does? Or maybe it's because he caused the breakup of BFF's legends Grace and Bree, right? Wrong. Let's get into the drama that had everyone hating on Dave Portnoy, the fallout between Grace O'Malley and Brianna Chicken Fry, which caused Dave to leave BFF's podcast. Just kidding. Kinda. Not really. If you haven't been online recently, let me put you on. Grace and Bree weren't just co-hosts on the Plan Bree podcast. They were best friends. They both worked for Dave and brought chaos, humor, and all the messy, relatable vibes fans loved. But then, things started to shift. Bree drops the bomb that she's rebooting Plan Bree solo, leaving Grace out of the picture. Grace fires back with a marathon-length post about being blindsided. And before you know it, she's out of Barstool. And the internet loses its collective mind, immediately blaming Dave. He's pushing Grace out. He only defends Brianna Chicken Fry, like Dave's some Simpsons villain.
Excellent.
They accuse Dave of playing favorites, of pitting the two women against each other, and of forcing Grace out to protect Brianna's brand. It was messy, and it was peak internet hysteria. But here's what actually went down. Grace wanted to leave. No power plays, just two people ending what everyone thought was a lifelong friendship, which is actually really sad. And Dave, he supported both of them equally.
O'Malley like, O'Malley, her plan Bree is ending. I just want to let you know, just because I talk to Bree all the time because I'm on BFS with her and I'm friends with her, clearly doesn't mean like I don't like you. I like Bree. I've done a podcast with her for 4 years. I'm friends with her and I defend my friends. So I think it's bullshit. Doesn't mean I don't like O'Malley. I like O'Malley. But it's like O'Malley doesn't need defense right now. The entire internet's on her and the entire internet's going for Bree's throat.
He's not out here master plotting. He's just trying to keep the peace while letting both women do what's best for them. But of course, Dave Portnoy backs two talented women equally isn't as juicy a headline as Dave's pushing Grace out to protect Bree, or he's in love with her. The truth is boring, and the internet hates boring. Now let's talk about why this matters. Because it's not just about Grace and Bree, it's about who Dave is as a person. The guy who's loyal to a fault and shows up for his people when it counts. Take Josh Richards. When Josh went through a messy, very public breakup with his first love, Nessa, who actually ended up hooking up with Josh's best friend at the time, Jaden, behind his back, Dave didn't just send him a generic "stay strong" text. He was there, offering advice, cracking jokes, and making sure Josh knew he wasn't facing it alone.
Dave is so invested in this shit and like he actually really cares about Josh.
He loves Nessa.
I really appreciated when you reached out to me like a couple times just to make sure I was doing okay, like mentally and everything.
Then there's Brianna Chicken Fry, who went through her own messy breakup with Zach Bryan when she turned down $12 million to not sign an NDA. Most bosses would send a polite, "hang in there" text and move on. Not Dave. No, Dave put out 2 diss tracks. Yeah, that's right. He grabbed a mic, turned on the beat, and absolutely roasted the guy. The guy who built an empire out of pizza reviews and hot takes is out here making diss tracks for his employees. Why? Because that's Dave. If he cares about you, he's not just gonna say it, he's gonna prove it in the most over-the-top way possible. Even Dave's ex-wife gets it.
Dave's also the most loyal guy you'll ever meet. Like, if you're in Dave's circle, like, he would do anything for you. And he's the funniest guy ever.
So while the internet loves to twist narratives and point fingers, the truth is, Dave isn't the bad guy in the Grace and Brianna saga, or in most stories for that matter. He's a guy who sticks by his people, even when everyone tries to paint him as the villain. Okay, well, maybe Dave Portnoy isn't the evil mastermind pitting friends against each other. But what if he's still out there crushing small businesses with every bite, leaving behind a trail of shattered dreams? It all starts with pizza, and how Dave Portnoy's one-bite pizza reviews are apparently ruining small businesses. This is where stuff really starts cooking. Dave walks into a pizza joint, takes a bite, and gives his brutally honest opinion. If your pizza's good, congratulations, you're about to be famous. If it's bad, you might end up in a curse-filled viral clip. Over 1,000 reviews later, Dave's One Bite series has become legendary, but critics are now saying he's killing restaurants one bite at a time. Take this dragon pizza fiasco.
I hope you enjoy your pizza, but I don't appreciate what you do to small businesses.
Well, I help. The good news is I
don't
give
see
you
it that way.
terrible.
Clear. Move on. Don't stand in front of my business.
Let me be clear.
Clear.
Public street, you mother.
Yeah, but
It's a public street.
Dave called their pizza a floppy mess, and the owner fired back with some colorful language. Then the internet explodes and people are shouting, "Dave's ruining small businesses." But here's what no one's talking about. Dragon Pizza had lines around the block after Dave's review. Guess people really want to know how bad the pizza really is. And for those pizza joints that didn't survive his harshest reviews, a whopping 30% of them closed down. But here's a catch. Portnoy's reviews weren't the fatal blow.
Oh, get over here!
They were more like the commentary during a game everyone knew was already lost. The truth is, some people just don't want to admit that their pizza is straight trash. It's easier to blame Dave than face the fact that your crust is soggy and your sauce tastes like watered down regret. So instead, they call him names.
Me, right?
Wow.
Zoom in on him and see how soulless he is.
Anti-union.
I hope your Barstool Sports bullshit dies, and rots in the ground.
We're
just
20
like
years,
honey.
though. We're 20 years.
One bite, you're away.
Calling him ugly. Because yeah, that'll really change how your pizza tastes. But here's why the Dave's ruining small businesses narrative doesn't hold up. The places that embrace the review, even the bad ones, usually come out on top. The ones that fail, they're already on their way out anyway. Dave didn't destroy them. He just told the truth. Dave rarely gives a score above 9.0, but when he does, it's like hitting the jackpot. Pizzerias he praises don't just get a boost, they go viral. They become must-visit destinations for legions of Barstool and One Bite fans. The New York Times even called him one of the most influential people in the world of food social media. That's not an overstatement. One review from Dave can literally change the fate of a restaurant. So, is Dave really killing small businesses, or is he saving the ones worth saving? If the story isn't as simple as Dave destroys pizza shops, then why is it that the version we're told? Because while people love to drag Dave Portnoy for his bluntness, they conveniently forget about the stuff he's done that actually matters. In 2020, when the pandemic hit and small businesses were going under, Dave didn't just sit back and write sad tweets about it. He started the Barstool Fund. He put in $500K of his own money to kick things off, and by May 2021, the fund had raised over $39 million. That money went directly to 348 businesses, helping them keep the lights on and pay their employees when the world had pretty much turned its back on them. While most people were just talking about how hard things were, Dave actually did something. Not only has Dave Portnoy been a game changer for small businesses, especially in the pizza world, but Dave's impact goes way beyond helping a mom and pop shop sell more slices. The guy's not just good for businesses, he's genuinely good for people. In 2024, he donated $277,000 to the Lifeline Animal Project in Atlanta. Why? Because of Miss Peaches, the dog he adopted from their shelter. And when NYPD officer Jonathan Diller was killed in the line of duty, Dave raised over $1.5 million for his family. Half of that came from t-shirt sales, and the other half straight out of Dave's pocket. Dave doesn't do these things to get a pat on the back. He's just doing what he thinks is right. And honestly, that's rare. Because, let's face it, in today's world, most people only do good deeds if there's a camera nearby. But Dave, he's doing it quietly, consistently, and without expecting anything in return. Let's rewind to 2013 during one of the darkest moments in Boston's history, the Boston Marathon bombing. While most of us were glued to the news, helplessly trying to process what's happening, Dave and Barstool stepped up. They weren't just covering the story, they were on it. Dave and his team were listening to police scanners, live tweeting updates, and sharing critical information in real time. At one point, news stations were actually getting updates from them before the police did. And while that level of commitment to staying informed was awesome, what really hit home was what they did afterward. Dave and Barstool donated $250,000 to a survivor of the bombing.
That he was the right pick for us.
This, we did nothing. I mean, we had the website, we had the following. So it's all, the readers who wanted to do it.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's what we raised. Right?
When you see Dave handing over this check, it's impossible to not feel something. It wasn't just a PR moment for him. It was real, and it mattered. And this wasn't a one-off thing. Fast forward to Christmas 2024, when Dave heard about a struggling, veteran-owned pizzeria in Baltimore on the verge of closing. Did he tweet about how sad it was? No.
The license and continue to stay open if we had 60,000. Would that be
done?
Done? Oh my God! Hey! Stuhl Presidente!
He went there to review Tiny Brick Oven and gave the dude $60,000 to save the place. And guess what? The customers came flooding in. If Dave Portnoy is so bad for small businesses, then why do a lot of pizza businesses back and support him too? Take the One Bite Festival held on Coney Island in September 2023 in the middle of a media firestorm, with some outlets deeming Portnoy a misogynistic bully and questioning why local pizzerias would want to work with him. When all the controversy threatened to derail the whole event, did any of the pizzerias drop out? No, they all showed up. 5,000 people attended, and the festival went off without a hiccup. In 2024, he donated all the proceeds from the festival to help Al Santillo rebuild Santillo's Brick Oven Pizza, a century-old restaurant in New Jersey that was devastated by a fire. What's wild is that Dave had already helped Santillo's before. Back in 2019, he gave them an 8.3 in one of his One Bite reviews. That score brought in a ton of business, leading to major catering gigs for clients like the New York Jets. Dave's not throwing out pizza scores or writing checks just to look good. He's genuinely invested in the people he helps. Whether it's a bombing survivor, a struggling veteran-owned business, or a century-old pizzeria trying to rebuild after a fire, Dave shows up, and not just for the headline, but for the long haul. So yeah, Dave Portnoy is loud, abrasive, and definitely not going to please everyone. But when it comes to helping people, the guy is all heart. So what's the final verdict on Dave Portnoy? Is he perfect? Not even close. But is he the bad guy some people make him out to be? Not a chance. Not everyone is going to get Dave's personality or his humor, and that's okay. If you get offended easily, Dave might not be your cup of tea, and that's fine too. You do you. But if you can take a step back, lighten up a little, and just roll with it, you'll probably find yourself laughing way more than you're offended. And that's what makes Dave, Dave. He doesn't pretend to be something that he's not. Dave isn't just a guy who reviews pizza and stirs up controversy. He's someone who cares deeply, whether it's saving small businesses with the Barstool Fund, supporting his friends through breakups, or donating to causes that really matter. Dave's actions speak louder than any headline or internet rant. That's the truth about Dave Portnoy. He's just a regular guy who loves pizza, loves his people, and loves making a difference in his own unique, sometimes chaotic way. So the next time you hear someone dragging Dave, ask yourself, is he really the problem, or are we just focusing on the wrong things? All right, time to eat.